Welcome to an introduction to the database Daily Life Through History, produced by ABC CLIO. My name is Cynthia Orr, and I wanted to share this database with you because I have my bachelor's degree in history and have always been fascinated by the everyday lives of people who have come before me. I believe history feels more real when we can look at individuals who lived through big events. There's a familiarity in looking at photographs and newspaper headlines or ads to relate to the needs of everyday people in history. This database uniquely looks at this aspect of history and provides a wealth of information to search. Before we get into the database itself, I would like to tell you about the company that produces the content ABC CLIO. A family-owned company that began over 60 years ago, merging the American Bibliographic Center, ABC, with CLIO Press, publishing historical periodicals to provide both print and online materials in a wide range of topics. I will note as an anecdotal point that Clio comes from one of the 9 Greek muses, patron goddess of history, a well-played nod to the historical focus of this database. This database integrates secondary school, high school, and college curricula by supplying authoritative references, subject-specific references, and expert perspectives. The database provides primary source materials for critical thinking opportunities in analyzing historical documents of everyday life subject matter. The award-winning ABC CLIO Solutions databases connect students, scholars, teachers, and librarians with curated collections of primary sources, expert perspectives, and reference material on essential subjects in U.S. history and government, world history, geography, and a range of multicultural and popular culture disciplines. The database is updated daily with credible, vetted content. It is enhanced with self-assessment and differentiated learning tools like videos, translation, and text-to-speech. And it is developed for middle, high school, and college students to think more critically on complex topics. A few facts. This database does require a paid subscription. It is tiered pricing based on the number of users at your institution. It can be purchased through other providers such as EBSCO, Mackin, and Follett. Once purchased by the institution, individual users would have access to it wherever there is internet. With content being updated daily, it is a worthwhile purchase for any institution wanting to provide primary source material from the humanities. Now let us look at the database Daily Life Through History. On the home page, which is what we're looking at now, you can see to the left of the screen the selection of time periods offered. It starts at the literal beginning, 1000 BCE, and proceeds through history to modern times, a new millennium, 1991 to present. Each of these categories can be explored further by selecting the drop-down arrow to the right of the subject. Using the category The World at War, 1914 to 1945, you can see the subcategories that are displayed once the drop-down arrow is selected. Once a subject is selected, it will further zero in on topics and content. In this example, I have chosen the Holocaust. Within that subject, it can be narrowed down further to different chapters of content: domestic, economic, intellectual, material, and recreational life. I have chosen domestic life and further selected children as the search option. This selection then brings up scholarly content curated by, in this case, Paul G. Pierpoli, Jr. The user can click on the name of the content curator to see the credentials of this individual. Further, a reference library appears with multiple forms of content to view, both primary and secondary, in the form of reference articles, videos, photos, government documents, and letters and narratives. This database is useful for educators, students, librarians, and information professionals. Though it requires a paid subscription, the daily updates to the material and the wealth of primary sources within each historical subject make this database useful and effective for research into daily history. I would recommend this database for purchase for middle school through college, as well as public libraries. The content is unique and interesting beyond the typical historical big picture and major event coverage. In future videos, I will cover more in-depth hands-on usage of the database. So if you're interested, join me in further exploring the content and use of daily life through history.